Hello, everybody. Naughty Nana Does here. Welcome to another segment of Lying for Jesus. That's right. That's where all those self-proclaimed Christians out there want to tear down everybody else that doesn't look like them, act like them, or pray like them. And today, it's Sarah Huckabee Sanders. That's right. It's her turn today. Now, I'm just going to say right off the top that I don't really think she's a governor. She's just a legacy, because if it wasn't for her father, she never would have got it voted in. It's the only reason why she's there. She's a legacy, not a governor, in my opinion, as humble as it might be. So anyway, Jesus lady, you're worried about the choices between left or right, or normal and crazy? Have you met Maggoty Trader, Lion Lips Bobert, Matt apparently pedophile Gates, or Donald grab him by the Trump? Or for God's sakes, hold a mirror up to your own face, you lying sloth? How about those types of people? You're supposed to be the good church lady and praising God and everything else, but you couldn't wait to get on there and go on about people out there. Oh, the lefts just want us to salute their flag and bow down to their false gods. Who the hell are you talking to? False gods. You're the one on your knees in front of Trump every chance you get, spouting out every lie he's ever told you to tell. Because you don't have an original thought in your head, you go through the newspaper and can pick out these goddamn buzzwords. So who the hell do you think you are, spouting out all these lies? Not polite to lie to God, you know that, right? Just saying. But anyway, you did do one good thing. Let's start there. You gave the teachers a raise from $36,000 a year to $50,000 a year. Now that's a good thing, right? But are these raises for teachers just for the privileged Christian school teachers that teach those privileged, mostly white children? Is it for those teachers? Or do they also include the black, brown, indigenous, and LGBTQ kids that are in the public system? And will they be able to be taught history as it really happened, or the watered-down version that you're telling them they have to say? You know, to protect those overprivileged white kids from getting their feelings hurt. But you know that's not really happening. You know kids are smart enough to have empathy. That's what they're learning. When they hear tales like that of how other people lived, it teaches them empathy. And that's a good thing, Sarah. Maybe you should get some. But anyway, no, we can't get their feelings hurt. No offense, Sarah. But kids in the United States, yours included, aren't smart enough to understand what critical race theory is, because it's not being taught in schools anywhere in the United States of America, or even in Canada for that matter. Critical race theory is an undergraduate course taught in law school, and it's an elective at that. So it's not being taught to your grade 2 and 3 and 4 grade 4 kids. It's not. It's not being taught in high school. It's not even being taught in college, for Christ's sake. So I don't know where you're getting off with that bullshit. I think in your little small frame of mind up there, I think all you seen was critical race theory. That's what's got up your crack. That's all. And it's another word that you heard in the buzzwords from Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham, or whatever the hell her name is. That's all you're hearing that stuff from. You don't have a fucking clue what it is, and if you are, you should be ashamed of yourself for spouting those lies. Because church ladies aren't supposed to do that, are they? No, they're not. The only word that you've seen was race. And that's where you come off, because that's what your base wants. How about what the other 72% of the Americans want? How about going with what they want? But no, you can't do that. So anyway, and why are you against $35 a month for insulin for senior citizens? Oh, I know. That's because you can afford the $400 or $500 a month it would take for insulin, alcohol wipes, needles, little isolates, or I can't remember what they're called, to stick your finger with for your blood testing things and your glucose monitors. You can afford all that shit because you've got free medical care, don't you, Sarah? And what you don't, your family can well afford to pay for it. You don't have to worry about it. And how about the private insurance that you have? That's right. So if your kids need ink, glasses, braces, it don't matter. You got private insurance that'll cover all that shit, right, Sarah? You don't give a shit about poor families as long as your kids' needs are done, right? You don't have to pay out of pocket for sweet piss off. And when was the last time you were at a grocery store when you got all your groceries on that conveyor and you're sitting there mentally thinking, trying to add up the numbers as they're going through to see do you have enough money? And when the bill finally comes in at the end of the tally there and you have to put back food items because you can't afford to take. When was the last time that happened to you, Sarah? Oh, that's right. You're in the governor's mansion. You have the maid to go and pick up all that stuff for you. You don't have to go to the grocery store, and the old maid goes up there with an unlimited budget. Yeah, you give a shit about poor kids, right? Because you're sitting there eating your big, rich, fancy foods and everything else that somebody else is cooking for you, I might add. Anyway, and your rebuttal was nothing more than a candy-coated turd that you shit out to try and make yourself look good. You know what? Woke liberals? Latino versus Latinx? That's what's important to you. With the way your state's been run, that's what's on your mind. Being woke. Read the fucking Webster's Dictionary, and I'm sure you have an education so you know what a dictionary is. You know the alphabetical order. Go under W, look for woke, and it's going to tell you it means informed, which apparently you're not, because you're picking on all these little buzzwords that you think are going to make everybody else sound worse. But it's not. It's making you look like an idiot. Just saying. Your state sucks at just about everything that people need. Education, you're 41st out of 50. 41st out of 50, there's a good record for you, right? No wonder you had to pay the teachers more money. Healthcare, you're 49th out of 50. So that's maybe why you don't give a shit about anything else. You should be looking for to save people money in your state, because 49 out of 50? Really? Infrastructure, we'll get back to that in a minute. Civil rights, here's something for you. The Civil Rights Act of 1993, the right of an otherwise qualified person, whatever the Christ that means, to be free from discrimination because of race, religion, ancestry, or national origin, gender, or the presence of any sensory, mental, or physical disability, is recognized and declared to be a civil right. I don't know, I think you better hold up there, Arkansas. Kind of forgot about some people, like the LGBTQ plus families. What about those and their kids and their needs? Missed out on that. Or how about the socioeconomic backgrounds of kids when they're at school getting made fun of because they can't afford to have a lunch? Or how about they don't have the clothes to wear like your fancy-ass kids get to wear to school? They don't have those clothes to wear. That's where they would learn history and stuff like that, and they would learn empathy. Yeah, you left out that whole bunch of people there. So I'm saying homophobic and maybe a little racist, maybe a little. Let's call a spade, shall we? So anyway, now you seem to be all hyped up during that rebuttal. Mind you, maybe hyped up isn't a good one. You look like you were halfway comatose, if you ask me. Not hyped up. But you love throwing out those mega buzzwords, don't you? That that less than 30% of Americans either need, believe, or want. Now let's take, for instance, that President Biden and the left care more about woke fantasies than American economic concerns. Really, Sarah? The brass of you saying that. So woke is defined, as I said earlier, in the dictionary as being informed. I think you better pick up another book or rewatch some friggin' history or something, because you are behind the times. I'm just saying. Now, Arkansas's economics are way behind everybody else in the country. I'm just saying, because of how poorly run your state is. Even as far back as your father, I'm saying. But Biden's woke infrastructure bill handed your state $771 million for bridges, roads, and tunnels. I think as a little debutante, maybe you should say one of those fancy little thank you notes off to Joe Biden and Pete Buttigieg, seeing as he's the secretary. Oh, no, he's gay. He won't get a thank you note from you or your family. I'm just saying, your father didn't like one of the comments I said about gay people. He blocked me. And I'm proud to say he blocked me. But anyway, you touted yourself as the youngest governor in the nation. To me, that only means you're inexperienced. And like I said before, you only got in because you're a legacy, because your dad was governor, that's all. And you only copied all the lies that Trump told you to tell, right? They weren't your lies. You spouted his lies, right? No, you had enough of your own. You even lied you lied to the FBI, didn't you? Was it the FBI? in Congress? I know you lied to somebody, but you had to walk all that shit back and you still couldn't do a good job. But you stumbled and started all over that friggin' podium in the press briefing room. I'm just saying, you're a lying bitch. So anyway, you might be the youngest, but you're not the most informed. You go on about and disparaging Joe Biden as being an octogenarian. Well, he was the 6th youngest senator ever elected. He got elected in 1972. The 6th youngest senator ever. He had to wait till his next birthday before he'd get sworn in. But he'd been in government before that. He was on city councils and everything else before he made it to Washington. So I think you better check yourself there. And you're going on about him being an octogenarian. You're the youngest and he's the oldest? How about Chuck Grassley? You always praised him all the time about how wonderful he was and everything else and how with it. And the same with Mitch McConnell, what a great statesman he is and good, really good for government and everything else. He's a smart politician. Well, Chuck Grassley's 89. He'll be 96 when he's done his term. And McConnell, he's 80 as well. But it's okay for him? Can't have your cake and eat it too. Well, by the looks of you, you're eating it too. But anyway, he was changing things in America. Joe Biden was. Before you were a glint and your daddy's homophobic eye. I'm just saying. He's helped more poor families than you or that evangelical, hypocritical church that you go to. Anyway, you're not worth the paper you're written on, Sarah. You're just not. This is Naughty Nana Does. It's been a pleasure. If you liked the video, thumbs up, everybody. If you want to leave a comment, please do. Love reading them. I really do. And please smash that subscribe button. Really appreciate that too. So anyway, be good to you. Mwah. Nana loves you. Have a good night. We'll talk soon.